What's up, everybody? My name is Jamie. Welcome back to Laced with Dreams, where we're making a song in every genre. So last video, we did the genre Vapor Trap. And then this video, the genre is, drum roll please, emotional hardcore music, Emo Core. So that's interesting. I was expecting it to take us longer to get to like a rock genre. But that's what we got. We got Emo Core. So if you don't know what Emo Core is, it's like, so emotional hardcore or Emo Core or emo music is a style of, it's rock music that originated as a style of like punk from the 80s in the Washington, D.C. metro area. A lot of people are probably familiar with newer forms of emo music that are like Dashboard Confessional, My Chemical Romance, things like The Used. Who else? Taking Back Sunday is like one of my personal favorites. My Chemical Romance is kind of like, some people are like it's emo, other people are like it's not really. They actually, apparently from what I read, My Chemical Romance actually rejected being called emo because of like, they didn't like the like stigma and the harmful stereotypes that were surrounding it, you know? So it's very interesting. Emotional hardcore music is a really cool one because it's got a lot of history behind it. It's got a lot of like, there's a large culture for that kind of music. It's very interesting. It's not very niche, but it's also not very mainstream. Even though nowadays it kind of seems like emotional hardcore is kind of, at least the aesthetics surrounding it is kind of becoming like a mainstream thing. So it's kind of interesting to look at. But anyway, this song took me a really long time. It took me like a month of like on and off work to actually get it done because emotional hardcore music requires a lot of live recording and it's a pretty high quality like production overall. So here's the song. I'm gonna play it for you now and then I'll give you a breakdown of what I did, how I made the song, etc. afterwards. So I hope you guys enjoy. Here it is.
And now
Alright, so that was the song. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Now we can get into like a breakdown of the creation of the song. For the record, if you guys liked that song, please hit the like button, because if this video gets 500 likes at any point in time, then I will release this song on all streaming services: iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, so that you guys can go and listen to it if you want to. So I'm going to start like breaking down what I did. So obviously in emo core music, it's like a lot of guitar. It's mostly just guitar, bass, drums, vocals. That's pretty much all that is included in the emo music like lineup. So if we start out, I did this this is actually, the synth is like, the synth is like, what even is it? It's a reed organ that I did the reed organ as like a little form of ambience, whatever, for the intro, because I felt like just having was too empty, so I wanted something to fill that space. So I did that. The bass kicks in here. I use Guitar Rig 6 for my bass to give it a beefier sound, and it does a really good job. Guitar Rig 6 is awesome. So the thing about this intro piece right here is it's a little like twangier than I kind of wanted it to come out, honestly. It's like I have this old analog Digitech effects modulator pedal that I use to play guitar through. So that's an outboard. The effects on my guitar are outboard, which helps with the quality a little bit, but it also, because it's like an older one, the distortion is kind of like vintage sounding. So it kind of gives it this like southern rock kind of vibe until the vocals kick in way over here. I can't find her. It seems she's wasted away in the ether. So obviously, with the vocals, what I did, especially for, where is it? Vocal 3X, vocal 3Y. So the main vocals in the verse, I did 3 vocal tracks. Or no, sorry, I did 2 vocal tracks, and then I merged them together with the bus. And one is just a really quiet one, and one is just a louder one, and they're both exactly the same thing of me singing. They're 2 takes. And I merged them together to create kind of a thicker sound. I feel like that made it sound a lot better. It made it sound a lot fuller. I used some reference tracks because that's a thing. I use reference tracks to kind of try to mold my shape and mold my sound and make it sound similar to similar styles of songs. So like for this song, I used The Ghost of You by My Chemical Romance, because that's like a really good song in my opinion. And it's similar to the kind of style, even though that song is like much more high energy than the one I made. But I was, in my opinion, listening to them side by side, which I'm not going to play The Ghost of You because copyright, but listening to them side by side, I did a pretty good job of making my vocals and the overall arrangement of the instruments sound similar. So I was happy with that. Like I said, a little more twangy than I thought it should be. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the drums are pretty. Drums are such a pain, dude. I had such a pit, like it took me a long time to do the drums, because in emo core, obviously, it's a rock genre, so the drums are very human. And as you can see, I did kind of loop them a lot. I wanted to avoid doing that, but after a few hours of tracking drums and quantizing and fixing things and adjusting, I was like, okay, I created this loop, and I stuck with it. Not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of that at all. I started out, this all started with this. This is just piano that I started with to create the melody. That's where it all started, man. This whole month-long journey started right there.
I'm actually really shocked at how long it took me. We've got 35 mixer, or sorry, 33-ish, 32 mixer tracks, or tracks in the playlist actually taken up. I used 49 mixer tracks. Each one obviously runs to a pre-master, and on the pre-master, I did sound good, Iser. Should I even admit that? Yeah, I use Sound Goodizer a lot. I don't care. I don't care. Like you guys are probably, dude. I can just see like the heads of people who take take the mixing and mastering part of music so much more seriously than I, and I could just see their heads exploding. This sounds good though. I'm sorry, but you can't tell me it doesn't. I'm not gonna play the whole thing again, but go listen to it and tell me that doesn't sound at least mostly decent. You're probably, if you have any comments about that, that's you know you're probably right. I probably could improve. I mean, I do this to express emotion, connect with people, for fun, for fulfillment. I like to create things, so I don't focus too much on how I get there. And yeah, it's difficult because I see in the producer community that people like poop on Sound Goodizer all the time, and honestly, it kind of works, to be honest with you, dude. It works, especially if you pair it with your own compression, because the compression on Sound Goodizer, is actually not, it's not very if you have a very dynamic sound like a vocal, it's not super crazy, to be honest with you. And I mean, Sound Goodizer, if you deconstruct, look, you can go, here, let me show you something. If you go to Maximus, right, so you guys know, you go to presets, they have the Sound Goodizer presets in Maximus, because Sound Goodizer is just Maximus, right? So if you go here and you look, this is just multi-band compression and saturation. That's all it is. So like, I can do the same thing as Sound Goodizer by just taking a multi-band compressor, adjusting it, it uses a really quick attack and release time on a multi-band compressor. Right, so you just turn that down to like 2 milliseconds. You turn this to like 100-ish. It doesn't really matter that much. I promise you it does not. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there are situations where it does a lot, but it does not matter that much. And then you set it like this, and then you open up your Maximus, do a nice little, look at, add saturation, try to take off like the very top of a sound. Like if I put my vocals in there right now, right, you'll see, I'm just encasing, I'm just encasing the sound in a little bit of saturation. And there's so much latency with the FL. FL has this, you have to use the FL Studio ASIO if you want to be able to hear things in OBS. So that's what I use is OBS. But this thing is just, all it does is these two things. That's all Sound Goodizer is. And I find that most of the time, to be freaking honest with you, sorry about it, but like just hitting Sound Goodizer and going like that is a good, at least, starting point. It's not all I do to my vocals. I don't leave it that way or anything. I don't do, see, I do, why did I use a limiter? I don't know why I used a limiter in this one. I should check that out. I don't know why I have a limiter there, but I'm curious to see what my thought process was. I don't remember. I mixed this vocal such a long time ago. Well, I can't find her. It seems she's wasted away in the ether. I think I was using it as almost like a spectrum analyzer, sort of. Or maybe I think I was using it as like a visual aid to see the like dynamicism of the sounds. But I don't really remember. It's not doing anything at all. So it doesn't need to be there. But I did have that there. I use that visually a lot. Like especially if I'm doing like gain staging. Gain staging, if you don't know what that is where you kind of make, from my understanding, is that you use gain staging to kind of make everything around the same volume to give you more headroom to work with, so that you can adjust things with the faders. So you would do something like, for example, if I want both my basses to be there, I would be like Maximus. Oh wait, no, not Maximus. Sorry, I do it this way. Oops. No. I do limiter, and then I turn it down to like where I want them staged at, so like -6, and then I would just adjust the gain so that the volume is just at the peaks is tapping off of that. I literally just did sound goodizers on the bass. That's all I did. It's actually not true. I also ran the bass through Guitar Rig 6, but I recorded it. So, little hack. If you guys don't know this, if I do sound goodizer at the very top, for example, or anything at the top, let's do like compressor at the top, right? If I record into this here, oh, right, all right, that sound, oh, that sound is going into Edison with the compressor on it. But if I do this, then the sound in Edison is raw, and afterwards the compressor is hitting it, right? So this is an uncompressed sound, and it would get sent through the compressor later. That's unimportant. Anyway, let's get back to the song. Sorry for the side tangent. I don't care. My favorite part of making this song was definitely this little ditty. Promise you'll think of me when you're on your own. I never knew that love could be so. Or more accurately, my favorite part was when this happens. I'll never know. Just promise you'll think of me when you're on your own. I was really happy with how vocal 10. This was my one that I was very happy with because this is the backing vocal to this part, and you can hear me, and I'm like really loud, and I have no pitch correction on my voice at all. And I'm not gonna lie, like I kind of go back and forth between being an amazing singer and also like a really crappy singer sometimes. Like sometimes my voice is not great. For example, to be honest with you, in the chorus, my voice was like kind of scratchy, which at the time was beneficial because it's emo core music, so it's good to have a scratchy voice at times. But I was really happy with how my vocal turned out here. Let me solo that really quick and then like listen to this. Tell me you think of me when you're feeling low. So long to a love I'll never know. That's like the best, I think. That's probably the best recording I have of myself singing that is not pitch corrected at all. The only part of this song that was pitch corrected, I will admit. I like to be transparent, man. I'm tired of all this like hiding behind. Oh, I guess I did the harmonies too, because these came out so bad when I did them at first, actually. But it's okay. Like I mean, I'm saying all these negative things, but I'm actually really happy with this song and how it turned out. So. I think I'm going to leave it there before I go on another side tangent. I hope that you guys enjoyed this like little breakdown. Maybe next time I can go more in depth. Actually, I'm not gonna end it there. Hold on. I want to talk about this. Promise you'll think of me when you're on your... So, when you're recording guitars, a good practice that I've picked up. I literally learned this from listening to like a stupid podcast that has nothing to do with music, but it works really well. Taking guitars and doing multiple takes and panning them to the left and right ears. Promise you'll think sounds so much better than it's literally just EQ'd and it's got a sound. I love that about myself, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. You guys probably hate it, but haters beware, dude. Sound Goodizer is in the building. I don't care. It works for me. This video is just me defending Sound Goodizer. That's all this video is. This harmony was hard to do. This was like an on-the-fly kind of thing that I thought of in the middle of making the song, and that was also what I ended up naming it. That's not the right thing. Come on, Jamie. Come on, dude. Those are pitch corrected. The reason those are pitch corrected is because I didn't feel like re-recording them. I could have done it again, but I didn't want to re-record at all, to be honest. So I also originally had a third harmony, and I thought it was too much because choir-like voices is not very it's very atypical for the emo core genre. You don't really really the spaciousness that I used in this song is not very emo core at certain points, but I still feel like I captured like the essence. The part of it that stands out as emo to me the most is that outro that I did. With these like, especially the. Tell me you'll think of me when you're feeling low. That sort of slow. There's some songs, especially like Jimmy Eat World did a lot. Of songs like this, like Hear You Me. That's a great song. Check out that song if you haven't listened to it before because it's great. I really feel like that's where I captured the essence of emo core the most. I kind of struggled to. Let me stop being negative, actually. I shouldn't be so negative about. I feel like I did a good job on the chorus. Promise to think of me when you're on your own. I think another place that I did a really good. The best, actually, the most emo core thing is probably the verse. Well, I can't find her. It seems she's wasted away in the ether. I had like a lot of expression in my voice, and I liked the arpeggio that I was doing on my guitar. Where's my guitar? What one was the arpeggio? This one. It's panned to the left ear. This is to the right. Well, I can't find. Now that, honestly, it's interesting because I started with this, what do you want to call it? I don't even know. Riff? I started with that riff. But the essential part, I feel like the essential part of this whole sequence is this arpeggio. D minor. I don't even remember. I think it's like a G minor. I think it's a G minor. This is a little like neat. This add-on helped me. This is a little like. Well, I'm sorry for these things I used to know. Well, I'm sorry for. That really helped me set a tone. That was cool because I didn't. And of course, this is all like, it's not really on the fly, but it is kind of done in an intuitive fashion for me. At least when I make music, I try not to think too much about what I'm doing. And it really helped me later on to release this tension that I built in this like. This second verse is where I kind of went. I started to try to emulate the styles of like Jimmy Eat World with the punk rock like plucking of the distorted guitar with the. I am falling. take it away because it's haunting. I'm wrapped up. But what really helped me with that part was like repeating this little distorted guitar part here. Really helped me to release the tension that I built up from that, and to kind of like tie the verses together with this repeated part here. So if you listen, can't let go of these things I used to know. Well, I'm sorry for that's very cathartic for me. Like when I listen to that, it's very cathartic and satisfying. My favorite part to create was easily the outro. The outro was a lot of fun. Oh, I also did this like this is my first time trying to do this too. This so on the master, I had this automated. You'll be happy to know that I didn't use. You'll be happy to know that I did not use Sound Goodizer on the master. But is it this one or? I don't know what one I did it with, but one of the limiters has a. I limit it to, what did I do? I think 0 decibels. If anybody has used FL before, you know that a certain version, I think it was like 12. Yeah, 12 used to have this limiter here. And it was like automatically, like the limiter settings were great and everybody loved it, but then they took it away. But anyway, I used the limiter just as a gain thing, and I did that for loudness because I noticed that there wasn't a loud enough disparity between my verses and chorus. So if you listen, you can, and you look, you can see that when the verse comes up into the chorus, I actually automated the volume a little bit. It's a subtle change, but it makes a difference. Used to know. Well, I'm sorry for these things I used to know. That was useful. I hate it when I do that. I don't know what causes this to happen. I accidentally hit the full screen thing and it makes it huge permanently. It's annoying. Alright, I'm getting hecka tired now, so I think I'm going to wrap the video up here. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't judge me for using Sound Goodizer. I won't use it all the time, I promise. I promise. And I'll always show. I like to show my process, so I was like a little embarrassed about using Sound Goodizer, but it just like really, there's a lot going on here. As you can see, I have seven freaking guitars, like live recorded guitars. I have 10 recorded vocal layers. I have the 2 basses. You know, there's a lot going on. I got like sick of trying to do everything by hand, so I only use Sound Goodizer as like mostly as a way of just getting a sound to a certain point so that I can manipulate it further. You know, I do a lot of EQ. I do the equalization. I am happy with the way that I did it in this song. Because I was maybe in another video I'll go in more into depth, but I did, you know, carve out space for things in a way that I have not done before. That was really effective for me. So I was really proud of like my ability to create space for different frequencies and mostly eliminate clashing and mostly eliminate like phase issues and stuff like that. So alright, so thank you guys very much for watching this video. Thank you for listening. Again, if you like this song, like this video, and if this video gets 500 likes, I will release the song on all streaming platforms for you guys to listen to anytime you want. Thank you very much. My name is Jamie. This has been Laced with Dreams, and I will see you in the next one. I know I will, because you know you love this stuff. Peace.